Julie Ryan, noted psychic and medical intuitive, is ready to answer your personal questions, even those you never knew you could ask. For more than 20 years, as she's developed and refined her intuitive skills, Julie used her knowledge as a successful inventor and businesswoman to help others. Now, she wants to help you grow, heal, and get the answers you've been longing to hear. Do you have a question for someone who's transitioned? Do you have a medical issue? What about your pet's health or behavior? Perhaps you have a loved one who's close to death and you'd like to know what's happening. Are you on the path to fulfill your life's purpose? No matter where you are in the world, take a journey to the other side and ask Julie Ryan.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to the Ask Julie Ryan Show. I'm Julie, your host, and I'm so delighted you could join us this week. My intention in doing this show is to provide information, insight, and comfort to people all around the world by helping to answer life's unanswerable questions. We have a bunch of callers on hold, so it'll be fun to see what their questions are, and we'll get to them in just a minute. A little bit of an update from here. Construction zone at my house. I posted some pictures on Facebook and on Instagram. The master bathroom shower was leaking into the room below. We have our basements finished, and there's a workout room. So they had to take the ceiling out of the workout room, and they've torn the shower out, and they have this plastic going into the master bath and into the closet and into the water closet, into where the toilet is. And it has a zipper in it, you guys. It's hysterical. It's this big red zipper. Go on Instagram and Ask Julie Ryan and Facebook at Ask Julie Ryan, and you'll see it. So I told Tim the first night, I said, I hope if I have to get up and go to the bathroom in the middle of the night, I remember to walk through the zipper. And I have so far. But getting a new shower, big construction zone here, new deck being built at the same time. So it's been nuts around here, but all good stuff, getting it going. But I was amazed once they got the shower torn out how the leak had rotted the wood underneath, like the support beam. One of the support beams was almost rotted through in a spot. So water can cause a lot of damage. I was amazed. But getting it fixed right now, and so should be back in action here within a week, which I'm looking forward to. The other thing is, reminder, sign up for my class, Angelic Attendant Training. The next class starts September 14th. I talked about it a lot last week on the show, but just briefly, it will change your life. It will rock your world. Everybody who's taken it says they live a life of unimaginable joy. What I do is I transfer energy from the level where I play onto my students. So you can do whatever you want. You can do healings. You can talk to deceased loved ones. You can talk to alive people. You can scan people. You can talk to pets. You can talk to your spirit guides. The way I look at it is, if I can teach somebody to read, they can learn whatever they want. When it comes to woo-woo, if I can teach them how to communicate with spirit, both alive and deceased, they can take it anywhere they want. I mean, the world is open. The universe is open. And it's really, really fun. It's 4 Saturdays in a row online. We have several people. I think we have 6 people that have signed up so far. Mostly Americans, 1 in London so far, an OBGYN from London, a pediatric cardiologist here, a housewife, a real estate person. I mean, all these different walks of life. And so it makes it for a really fun, interesting 4 weeks together, and everybody bonds, and it's wonderful. So check that out on my website. Just check out the training there. And if you're interested, join us. And if you have questions on it, just email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I will get them answered. All right. With that, let's go to the phones, and let's see who we have. I believe our first caller is Dee. Hi, Dee. Hi, Dee.
Hey, Julie. How are you?
Good. How are you?
Doing pretty good.
Good. Did you have a question for us? Well, first of all, where are you? Did you ask me to wait and call you on you last?
Yes, but that's okay. I'm here now, so we can go ahead with it.
When I was getting everybody lined up, Dee said, I'm picking up food for dinner, so call me last. Do you want me to come back to you, Dee?
No, that's okay. I'm situated now.
Nothing like a live recording, huh?
To tell everybody,
Words and all, right? Yeah, please tell everybody where you're calling from.
I'm calling from the Washington, D.C. commuting area, part of Maryland.
Okay, terrific. And tell everybody what you just picked up for dinner.
I got Applebee's. gourmet cooking tonight.
Well, everything's good in the neighborhood. Isn't that their slogan or something?
I think so. It's pretty good. Nice salad.
Terrific. Well, good. Well, what's your question this evening?
Well, I wanted to see if you could help zap me some energy in a couple areas. I'm recuperating from major surgery that's been over a year and a half and still not quite out and about. But I've got a couple of problems, and it being pressure sores that won't stop bleeding and breaking after 5 years, and also sore throat that won't, and earache type things that won't go away. It's like maybe an infection type thing that just won't quite leave the body for healing. You know, I need something to zap up the energy better.
Right.
So I don't know if you can see that.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, what I'm going to do, Dee, is I'm going to get you on my radar.
Okay.
And how I do that is I raise my vibrational level to the level of spirit. I'm going to close my eyes and watch a laser beam come from my body here in Birmingham. It's going to hook into you in the D.C. area, and then I'll have a hologram of you in my mind's eye. And then I'm going to shoot energy from your feet up through the top of your head, and it will be as if I'm looking at an MRI or a CT scan or an X-ray. And then we'll just see what comes up first, and then we'll take it from there. But those pressure sores, those are awful, and painful is the dickens, right?
Oh, yeah, and major ones because my illness swells me up, and it goes up and down, so it makes the skin worse even.
Because it stretches your skin out so much.
Right, yes.
Okay, all right, so here comes my laser beam, and it's heading over to you in D.C. All right, got you in the D.C. area, I should say. Okay, shoot. Okay. Yeah, you kind of look like the Michelin woman, that commercial with the Michelin man.
That's accurate. That is accurate.
So let me get that fluid drained. The Michelin woman, for those of you that don't know what I'm talking about, there was a TV commercial for Michelin tires. And they had this guy, he kind of looked like a marshmallow man, didn't he, Dee?
Does it refer to being fat or just fluids or everything?
No, it's just fluid. Yeah. No,
I have a lymphedema issue, and that's the fluids that can go up 100, 200 pounds.
Goodness, that's crazy.
Yeah.
So
it's very serious.
Raining. Okay. All right. So that's the big issue is the fluid right now.
Yeah, that's the big issue, yes.
All right.
It's causing lots of little issues.
What I'm watching happen is I'm watching you get squeezed like a bag that you put frosting in to pipe frosting on a cake.
Yes, I'm a cake decorator, so yeah.
Wow, there you go. You know what's really funny about that, Dee? When I'm scanning somebody, I'm on, like with you, I'm on the D channel. And so I start getting information even before I get you on my radar. And with that information that comes visual is I get analogies to make so that you'll be able to visualize what I'm seeing.
Well, that was head on.
So there's no coincidence that I got. I don't know that I've ever told anybody that visual before, but it's a great example of the information that I'm getting is pertinent to you.
Absolutely.
And the reason why I'm so descriptive in the healings that I see is because if I can describe it to you in a way that you can envision it, Dee, it's going to help your body heal better because the body's always going to do what the brain is showing it. And it helps integrate it better. And the analogy I use a lot of times is if you've ever watched a scary movie, your brain knows it's pretend, but maybe your heart feels like it's going to jump out of your chest. So
and it's still real, exactly.
Yeah, and your body thinks it's real, but your brain knows it's fake.
Right.
So the body's always going to do what the brain is showing it, which I think is a really good clue in helping us heal. If we can envision what we want to happen it's going to help the body heal. And I know it sounds really out there, but it works. So, all right. So I'm working on getting this water out. Okay. So pressure sores, I'm seeing one. I'm seeing one on the back of your right leg, and I'm seeing one in your tailbone area.
Yeah, they're in the rear end. Yeah, they're in the rear end.
Yeah, that's the one I'm seeing. The one on the right leg is percolating. The one in the tailbone is open, but the one in the right leg's coming. So we're going to hold it. We're going to just, head that one off at the pass. All right. So
good.
What I'm watching happen in the tailbone is I'm watching that the sore itself, and I know pressure sores, for those of you that don't know, they get really deep. So it's almost like they're a cavern of infection. And so what I'm watching happen, Dee, is I'm watching that infection get scooped out of that hole, if you will, where the infection is. And I'm watching all that tissue get removed. And then I'm watching stem cell energy come in. And stem cell energy looks like light amber colored gel with sparkles in it. And it will regenerate whatever body part we need. So this is going to regenerate the tissue.
Fabulous.
Where that infection is. And so we'll do that. That's happening. And what happens is there's a vortex that spins on top of it, and it's that spinning that turns the gel into whatever body part we need. And it has the consistency, Dee, of dippity-doo. And we have to be a certain age to remember dippity-doo, but dippity-doo, for those that are young, was this hair gel in the 60s and 70s. And it was kind of watery. And when I was a kid, my babysitter used to let me put dippity-doo on her hair before she'd roll it. So, crazy analogies, but that's what it is. But you know exactly what I'm talking about, don't you?
Yeah, my sister used it, exactly.
Yeah, so again, another example of on the Dee channel. All right, so that's happening. So on the one on the right leg, what we're doing is I'm just watching it, a vortex of energy spin, because the skin hasn't broken yet on the back of it's like on the bottom of your calf, where the back of your leg is where I'm seeing the pressure building up there on that one. So pay attention to that one too.
Okay.
So we can do that. All right. So I'm sure you're on antibiotics, right?
No.
You're not? Have you been?
Well, on and off over the years, only when I get a flare-up. And I'm kind of resistant to them, so I try not to. Okay.
That's what I'm getting the sore throat and the ear infection is about, is your gut biome's just out of whack. So email me, Dee, Julie at AskJulieRyan.com. I'm going to send you a link for half off of a gut biome test. Get that done, and that's going to tell us what your foods are to eat. What are going to be the best foods for you to eat so that you can restore your immune system? That's what's going on with the sore throat and all of that. So just email me and I'll send that to you. Okay?
Great. Thank you.
I hope that helps. Okay.
I think
Enjoy
it will.
Your dinner. Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
All righty. Let's see who's next. I believe it's Angela. Hi, Angela.
Hi, Julie.
How are you?
I'm okay. I'm calling because I had lost my mom a few weeks ago, and she's my person, and I'm having a hard time dealing with her loss. But I just got done. My Aunt Joni gave me a lend of her book, of your book, Angelic Attendants, and I just finished it. And it gave me so much comfort, and I really appreciate that so much. But what I want to ask you, during my mom's passing, I was with her in her hospital room, as well as my brother, Andy, my sister Gina, and my Aunt Joni, which is my mother's sister. And one thing, while reading your book, the formation of the spirits that come and the angels that come, it's all similar in the formation during the person who's transitioning their ceremony. But what I found interesting was each of the stories that you talked about in your book there was something uniquely special about each of them. And I'm wondering if you can, which is it's just so beautiful and so comforting, but I'm wondering if you can tap into my mother's transition that day in the hospital, and if you can, anything that you can relate to me as far as her transition, anything that was uniquely special about it.
Yeah, kind of do an instant replay of it.
Absolutely. That would be wonderful.
Yes. Okay. Angela, where are you calling from? Where are you calling us from?
Drums, Pennsylvania.
Okay. All right. Where is that? I never heard of that.
Northeast Pennsylvania, near the Poconos.
Yeah. Near Wilkes-Barre, Scranton and all that?
Yes.
Okay. All right. I dated a guy in Kingston. Was it Kingston?
You did.
King's College when I was in college.
Oh,
and so
wow.
He used to come up there when I was in college, and they had a house up in the Poconos, and we went snowmobiling. It was a blast.
Wow.
But,
I'm familiar with King's College. I got my master's degree from King's College, actually.
Yeah.
How about that?
and I remember that that's one of the shortest runways at that airport, so you pray that the plane stops because it's on the edge of a cliff or something, right?
Yes.
Yeah. Maybe they've elongated it or built another mountain or something, but I remember that from when I was in school. All right, so what I'm going to do, Angela, is I'm going to connect to you, and from you I'll be able to tell me your mom's name.
Barbara.
All right. I'm going to connect to your mom, and then we'll do an instant replay. So what we're talking about, everybody, for those of you that don't know, my book's called Angelic Attendance, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next. So there's lots of books out there, Angela, about near-death experiences and the phases of grief and what happens in the afterlife and all of that. But I found pretty much not much information, if any, about what happens as we're dying. And so what I see is angels and deceased loved ones and deceased pets surround us and angels carry the person to heaven when they transition, when their spirit separates from their body. And it's really glorious. And it's the same thing that they talk about in this prayer that's said at the end of every Catholic funeral, Roman Catholic funeral, called In Paradisum. And it talks about the angels and your loved ones will greet you and lead you into paradise. And the best I could find in my research was it dates back to a 5th century Gregorian chant. And I have to believe that maybe it took until the 5th century for people to be learned enough that they could write down what they see when somebody dies. I believe most people saw this scenario, and that it just took maybe until the 5th century. And certainly some of the most learned people were men who were in monasteries. They could read and write. They were the scribes. So that's what I see. All right, so here we go. So I'm going to connect to you. Got you. Okay, Barbara, show me. Oh, interesting. All right. Okay. Yeah. All right. So what she showed me was this burst of kind of peach-colored light energy when she's separated from her body. I don't know that I've seen that before. Usually it's bright yellow, whitish, but there was like a beautiful peach-colored sunset every once in a while. We'll see that. But the interesting thing about that, Angela, is when I do this procedure or this technique called a walk to heaven, you read about that in the book with people who are afraid to die. We walk through this tunnel and we imagine we're walking into the setting sun, and it turns a brilliant color of peach. So that was part of your mom's experience, was when she went through that tunnel. That is the passage from this reality into non-spirit, into spirit, into non-physical. Does that make sense?
Yes.
So that's what she's showing me. Like, the room is just this brilliant color peach, and it has, if you can imagine, it has these little sparkles that are surrounding, kind of like on the periphery of this peach.
Okay.
And I saw that when my mom died. I talked about it in the book.
Yes.
And it's grace. It's just like these sparkles that swirled through the room.
Grace.
So your mom had a lot of that.
Oh,
so
beautiful.
Is there something you'd like to ask her? We can talk to her.
Oh my gosh, where do you start? So much. I want to ask. When she took her last breath, she just had a single tear that went down her right cheek, and if you could ask her what the significance of that tear was, or if there was a message for us.
Was she coherent till the very end?
No.
Okay. All right. So, a single tear. She's telling me that she knew she was going, to where it's pure bliss and in heaven, but she was feeling emotional about the pain you guys were going through.
Okay.
It wasn't about her, it was about you. So she was feeling empathy for you guys.
Okay.
Okay. But she's also telling me to teach you how to talk to her.
Oh gosh, I know.
Right.
I'm trying. Yes, thank you.
So you say something to her. You know this?
Mm-hmm.
You say something to her in your head or aloud, and within a second, it's going to be her answering you, because spirits communicate telepathically, and So she's mentioned a dog 2 or 3 times now. Did she have a dog?
Rogie, yes.
All right.
He passed before her, but yes, her beloved dog. Yes.
Okay. All right. So she's talking about the dog.
Okay.
Okay. So he's with her. I mean, she's crazy about that dog, right?
She was, yes.
Okay. All right. So she's talking about the dog. All right. So consider doing a private session. Then we'll have a whole hour to talk to her and get you some comfort. And what I find is that when we can communicate with our deceased loved ones, it brings so much comfort, because they're still around you. They're just not in physical form. I did this with a gal who just lost both of her parents within a month, and she had their ashes, and she didn't know what to do with them. She didn't know where they wanted them scattered, and I kept getting that they wanted them scattered in Yosemite, and she burst into tears when I said that, and I thought, oh gosh, I hope I haven't offended her. But she said that's where they met.
Oh, beautiful.
So
that's so beautiful.
So you'll get it. We'll get information from her.
And one last thing. Did she? Can you tell me? My father passed as well, and my brother. Are you picking up on anything with their reunion? With the 3 of them together?
Well, as soon as you talk about them, or as soon as you think about them, they come in. So they're standing next to her, and she's standing to your right. But they were there as she was dying. If you look at those diagrams on my site, on AskJulieRyan.com, it shows where they, where the spouse stands. And so your brother was to the right of your dad as you're looking at your mom. As you're facing your mom, your brother was standing to the right of your dad.
Okay.
Well, go to AskJulieRyan.com, schedule a private session. We'll have an hour.
Will do. Absolutely. Sounds wonderful, Julie. Thank you so much for your time.
Would you do me one more favor? Would you leave a review on Amazon for me?
Will do.
Please.
Absolutely. Will
Thank
do.
you.
Thank you, Julie.
Appreciate it.
Okay. All right.
Our condolences.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Okay.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Likewise, any of you that have read Angelic Attendants, please leave a review on Amazon, because it helps others find this material. And usually somebody who's looking for this kind of material is either going through the dying of a loved one or has just lost a loved one. And it brings them so much peace. So I would really appreciate if you'd help with that and leave a review on Amazon. All right, let's go back to the phones. I believe our next caller is Molly. Hi, Molly.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
How are you?
Fine, thanks. I'm calling from Santa Monica, California.
Monica? Yes. Well, good. Well, welcome.
Thank you. So I had a question. For as long as I can remember, my left shoulder has been bothering me. Like there's something that's maybe like a knot, but my whole life, like stuck in there between basically my neck and my shoulder. And I was just wondering if you could do a scan on that and see if that's something that's there from an injury in a past life or what it could possibly be. I mean, I've tried acupuncture, I've tried everything, and just don't know.
And you've been to a chiropractor and have you tried chiropractic? Yeah.
Healers,
okay.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, let me connect to you. Here comes my laser beam. Sweet home Alabama, heading out to Santa Monica. I was just there a couple weeks ago. All right. Got you. Shooting energy from your feet up through the top of your head. I'm looking at you from behind. All right. So there's a hologram of you in my mind's eye, Molly. It was turned around to the back. Same thing with Dee when I was looking at her pressure sores on the back of her bottom and on her leg. All right. So what is going? I can see it. I can see what you're doing. It looks like scar tissue to me. So scar tissue, Molly, looks like chicken cartilage in a chicken breast, that bendable, flexible stuff that you can get out of a chicken breast with a bone in it. Not the chicken breasts that are, excuse me, boneless, but, the ones, if you've ever cooked a chicken breast that has the bone in it.
Right.
Excuse me. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove it. So I'm watching it get scooped out, and it's in the middle of where the muscle is in your shoulder. So my guess is when you hunch your shoulders, like especially the left shoulder, it feels like something's getting stuck almost. I don't see any inflammation with it at the moment. Does it hurt, or it just feels weird?
It hurts really all the time.
It hurts?
It always feels weird. Yeah.
Okay, I'm losing you. Can you get closer to the phone?
Sorry, can you hear me?
There you go. Yeah, now I can. All right.
At this moment it doesn't, but it's on and off hurts all the time.
Okay, I don't see any inflammation on it, so that's bizarre. Because inflammation's red, and I usually see it over body parts when there's soreness. But let me get it out, and let's see if we can regenerate those muscle fibers. It would be like if you had, how can I explain this? The rope that they use to dock a ship? It's twisted.
Yeah.
And sometimes those individual little threads of rope will start to fray, but the rope is still in place. It's still very strong, but just the edges are starting to fray. So that's what this looks like with the scar tissue. So I removed that. Here comes stem cell energy in there again. This stuff is so cool. Again, light amber colored gel, has sparkles in it. It's centrifuging. What it's doing, it's regenerating those muscle fibers. So it looks like that muscle is getting stuck because of the scar tissue. Did you play sports? Did you injure it? Do you have any memory of that?
Sure. I think I've always held stress there. But I have played sports in the past. Okay. I was on a rowing team.
Oh, well, your shoulder's got lots of use in that sport.
Yeah.
Okay. So who did you row for?
Newport Aquatic Center in Newport Beach.
Oh, wow. That's serious. Yeah. Okay. All right. See if that helps with that healing that just happened on it. I think it's scar tissue from a previous injury. So I hope that helps.
Thank you so much.
Sure. So welcome. Thanks for calling.
Yeah, thank you.
Take care. Bye-bye.
You too. Bye.
All right. Let's see who else we have. Ollie. Hi, Ollie.
Hi, Julie. How are you?
I'm well. How are you?
I am doing good. I'm calling from Reno. And I called maybe 3 weeks ago, maybe a little bit longer. And I told you I had like a cyst on my breast, and you said that I had folds. So I went and got my mammogram done, and they classified it as a cyst see or something like that. So it's kind of freaking me out because they want to do biopsy and all these things. So I'm kind of stressed out, and I was wondering if you could maybe, like, scan me again and see what's going on. And also, like, my stomach's been really upset recently, so I don't know what's going on with me.
Okay.
I don't know if it's the nerves.
Yeah, well, that's nerve-wracking when you get when you get something like that going on.
I'm really scared, yes.
Yeah, I know. All right. And what did I get last time, Ollie?
The one I was worried about was on the right side. You said that I had on the left, but they're really worried that the one on the right because it's the biggest. So
okay.
I'm not sure.
All right.
You said
it's
the
on
energy
the
went to the left.
It's on the outside of your breast. Is that where I saw it?
No, it's inside.
What do you mean, like on the side of your breast?
Oh, yes. I'm sorry. Yes, lower side.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the reason I'm asking is when I scan somebody, Ollie, and everybody listening, I go in and out of different realities. So I'm in the spirit world reality and in the human reality, and I go back and forth. So it doesn't necessarily register in my head. If you tell me, if you prompt me, I can usually get the memory back. That, and I talk to hundreds of people, over 1,000 in a year. So I just don't, I don't register all of that in my memory, but you prompt me and it'll go. So today the energy went to the right side first.
Okay.
Interesting. And so that's where it is. All right, let me see. It looks like a pink cyst to me. It does not look malignant to me at all.
Okay.
It does not look malignant. Did I ask you if you wore an underwire bra?
Yes, you did, and I stopped wearing them, so I haven't worn them. And I bought some essential oil specifically made for the cyst. So I started using that 2 days ago.
Good.
So I'm just trying to, I don't know, I'm just freaked out, and I don't know.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, when we're freaked out, we're making stuff up, right? Because we don't know. We don't know what's going to happen, and we don't know how it's going to happen. So might as well make up good stuff if we're going to make it up anyways. It's all fake news, right? So let's make up good stuff.
It's making me, like, I don't know if I'm having anxiety. Of course, I'm worried. So I'm having, like, dizzy spells. So I don't know if, like, my stomach and dizzy spells is all, tied to this stress. I don't know what's going on with me.
Yeah. Yeah, I think it is. So let me look at your left breast and see what. So it's in the same place on the left side, right? On the outer side?
I don't feel it.
That's where I'm seeing it.
Yeah.
I'm seeing it there. Yeah, and it's where the underwire hit.
Okay.
So I really think it's from your underwire bra. And I think it's going to go away on its own.
Okay.
So, do what the doctors tell you if it feels right to you.
Okay.
If you get a feeling where, and you're going to know, follow your gut.
Okay.
I mean, and the doctors aren't doing anything malicious. They're doing what they believe is the best thing to do. But it's based on what their experience is. If you're having second thoughts about the advice you're getting, get a second opinion.
Okay.
Go get a second opinion, and that'll help. And pay attention to how it feels. How does it feel in your gut? You cannot make a wrong decision.
Okay.
You cannot make every decision you make is going to be the right decision.
Okay, and what about my stomach? Because I don't know, I feel like maybe I have an ulcer coming out. I'm just like, I don't know if it's all connected to all this stress.
It looks inflamed, so I think you've got, I think it probably is. Email me. I'll send you the link for the gut biome test. Get that done, Ollie.
Okay.
And then that's going to tell you what your superfoods are for you to eat and what foods for you to avoid, and that's easy to fix. That'll take care of your stomach, and it'll be just for you. So Julie@AskJulieRyan.com. Let us know what happens with those cysts. If you get the biopsies, that usually will give you peace of mind.
Yeah, that's what I think I'm going to do. Yeah. I'm just really nervous.
Yeah, absolutely. You cannot make a wrong decision. Any decision you make is going to be the right decision. Okay.
I appreciate for what you do. Thank you so much.
You bet. Thanks for calling in, and call us back and let us know what you come up with.
I will do that. Thank you so much. Have a good evening.
Take care. You too. Bye-bye.
Bye.
All right, let's see who else we have. I believe our next caller is Patricia. Hi, Patricia.
Hi, Julie. Can you hear me?
I can. How are you?
I'm good. This is actually, my legal name is Patricia, but my name that I go by is Janine, and I'm the August winner for the hour-long show, or the hour-long session. Yeah, I'm really excited. I have so many questions.
And I saw you had emailed me, and I have been out of my office all week, so I will get back to you within the next few days. I'm behind on my emails, but I saw you emailed me. I'm so glad that you heard it, and that I'm going to get you for a whole hour, which will be really fun. So we'll figure that out.
All right. So you'll email me, and then we set up the time that way?
Yeah, what you do is just go on my site and pick a date and time that's available, and then just email them to me, and then I'll schedule it manually so you don't get charged.
Okay, perfect. But I just wasn't sure how to do it because I started scheduling, and then it wanted me to pay, so I stopped. So I'll just email you back with some times. Sounds good.
That's right. That's right. Well, congratulations. You're Miss August.
Yes, I'm excited.
Where are you calling from, Janine?
We are calling from Wiscasset, Maine.
Okay.
Which
terrific.
Is kind of the mid-coast area of Maine. It's a pretty big state.
That it's beautiful.
It's a perfect time of year right now for us.
Yeah,
There's no
I
snow.
Bet.
No snow.
I know you guys get serious snow up there.
Yeah, last winter was pretty long. So I have a question.
Yes, ma'am.
I have a tremendous amount of body pain anyway, but in the last month I have had a really bad amount of pain in my neck, and like when I lay on my left side of my head, it's like a burning hot feeling behind my ear.
Right.
And I see a chiropractor, I see a Reiki energy healer. I try to stretch it, but I can't really quite make it stop. And it's been going on for about a month, so I'm been trying to work with it, but
Right. So I got you on my radar while you were talking, and it looks like the vertebrae on the left side of your neck are starting to collapse. So we're going to fix them. Imagine, like I was saying before, Janine, when I'm on your channel, like I'm on the Janine channel right now, I'm going to get analogies that are going to make sense to you. So the analogy I'm getting is, envision a rack of baby back ribs. The rib part represent our vertebrae. The meat part in between the ribs represent our discs. All right. When those discs are starting to not have as much meat in them, like on ribs, those vertebrae can start to collapse. I'm seeing a little bit of degenerative disc stuff going on with you. Okay. So I'm going to throw some stem cell energy on the end of those discs. It's going to plump them back up. It's going to put those vertebrae back in place. Because if there isn't enough disc space, they start to collapse. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So if you're looking at baby back ribs and you take some of the meat out, and then there's space between the bones, those bones aren't going to be held in place as well as when the meat is there. Does that make sense?
All right. Yeah, that makes sense.
Okay. So I'm putting a dollop of stem cell energy. You have two discs that are in play. I'm putting a dollop on there and regenerating those. There's a vortex that's spinning on top of them. By the way, I talked to a guy who's an anesthesiologist that works with stem cells and fixes pro athlete body parts. and he said, what you describe is exactly what we do in my office. I said, yeah, I know. I read about it. But it's funny how these healings will emulate a lot of the stuff that's being done in hospitals and by medical providers. So that's spinning. Okay, that's going back up. All right, I'm watching an adjustment of the neck going back, line back up. So they just went back in place like if you ran your fingers down, you know, a piano, the keys of a piano, or a mallet on a xylophone. We'll spend more time on that when we have our private session, but hopefully that will give you some relief in the short run.
Very good.
Okay. All right. Look forward to having you for a whole hour. Congratulations on winning. How she won, everybody, is you just follow me on Instagram, sign up for my blog, and put a review on iTunes. Ask Julie Ryan at iTunes, and then there's a winner that's chosen every month. So congratulations. Thanks for calling in.
Thanks so much.
You bet. Take care.
Bye.
Bye, Janine. Okay, we do this show every Thursday night at 8 Eastern, 7 Central, and 5 Pacific. The call-in number 712-770-4160, and the access code is 533677#. And you can find this information a bunch of different places. Go on my site, AskJulieRyan.com. Scroll down to the bottom of the home page, and you'll see it. It's also in all the show notes where we post the podcast. We're on, I think, 70 networks. So anywhere you download podcasts, it's in the show notes. I posted on social media, Ask Julie Ryan on Instagram and Ask Julie Ryan on Facebook. The day of the show, I'll say, okay, remember to call in, and here's the numbers. And then I do a blog each week, and that's a question somebody has submitted online, and I answer it. And in the body of the email is all this call-in information. So lots of places where you can find it. When you're on my site, sign up for my blog, and also sign up for an individual appointment. And then I'll have you for a whole hour, and that's really fun. Check out my training while you're on there, too. All right, this week, the question came from Cindy, and Cindy lives in Aiken, South Carolina. And she said, hi, Julie. I live in South Carolina, and I love listening to your show. I have a question about my deceased baby sister and my deceased mother-in-law. My sister passed away 11 years ago of cervical cancer at the age of 28 and left behind 2 very young children. Then my mother-in-law passed away 6 months later of congestive heart failure at the age of 58. Yesterday was my sister's anniversary, and as I was sitting in my rocking chair on my porch reliving the day she died, a brown butterfly showed up beside my feet. It flew to my front door and then towards my face, circled my head, and then flew away. I immediately felt at peace and wanted to know if that was her letting me know that she was okay. Are my sister and mother-in-law ever around our family? And if so, are there any signs of when they're around? Thanks, Cindy. And here's my response. Hi, Cindy. My condolences on the loss of both your sister and mother-in-law. Sounds like you're keeping your memories alive just by thinking of them, which is what we all do. I actually today was in the safety deposit box looking for something for Jonathan, our son, and I found a letter that my dad had written, and it was a real special letter. It was in his handwriting. He died in 2006, and I'm sitting in the room at the bank, you guys, in the safety deposit box vault with tears streaming down my cheeks. So, you know, those memories, they even when they're gone for a long time, something can trigger them. I wasn't boo-hooing, but it was really touching, and especially to see it in his handwriting, you know, this letter. So anyways, back to my response. As for are they ever around you, hello, the brown butterfly was a big clue to say they sure are. The website Butterfly Insight says, some believe that when a brown butterfly enters the house, it's the spirit or soul of a deceased loved one from the distant past. It could also mean that the actual soul of the individual is nearby. The site went on to say, in some cultures, a brown or tan-colored butterfly symbolizes a new life or a fresh start. Now here's my take on it. First, our deceased loved ones send butterflies, birds, dragonflies, etc. to let us know they're around us. They don't become the insect or animal. Rather, they communicate with the animal to be sure it's seen by you. So they send the animal. They send the butterflies. They send the cardinals. They send the hawks. I see hawks all the time. Second, that brown butterfly that greeted you on your porch was from your mother-in-law. She wanted you to know her spirit was around you as you were recalling a particularly painful time when your sister passed. I thought that was so sweet. And speaking of your sister, she told me you think of her when you see a particularly colorful sunset. She said as kids you used to get a kick out of watching beautiful sunsets, perhaps at the beach. Aiken, South Carolina is on the way to the beach. Anyway, she said, when you see a gorgeous sunset, to know she's with you. Regarding them spending time together, they said yes, especially when they're both around you and the family. Please consider reading my book, Angelic Attendants, What Really Happens as We Transition from This Life into the Next. I believe you'll find it informative, comforting, and heartwarming. Thanks for listening to my show and for submitting such a touching question. Hope my answers give you lots of peace. So thanks, Cindy from Aiken, South Carolina. Appreciate your question. All right, let's go back to the phones, and I believe our next caller is Amy. Hi, Amy.
Hi. Boy, are you good.
What?
Huh?
What'd you say?
You are so good.
Oh, you sweet thing. Thank you. I'm sure you're really good, too.
I just listened to you, and I'm like, you are just so synchronized. We're lucky.
Oh, thanks. Where are you calling us from?
San Diego.
San Diego. You're in Balboa Park last time you called, weren't you?
Oh yeah, I'm home now in my little residence. When you initially said hello to me, the church bells were ringing, and I couldn't really get a good contact with you because it was so loud. I live right across the street from a big church.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, they play the bells every hour.
Great. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I want to get my health so healthy.
Okay.
I have gone through health this lifetime, and it just seems, where do I even start? I fall on my face in 2010. I crack my teeth. I get zirconian crowns and all of that, and you know, my digestion and health have never been the same after that. I don't think so. And then I have the bloated belly and swollen knees and swollen wrists now, and my jaw is like, you know, kind of off. I probably need my atlas put in. I probably need to get some NUCA chiropractic work done on it. But it just seems the whole domino effect. And you chase your tail. Where do you start?
Yeah.
You know, I just want my body zapped. I come back.
Well, let me get you on my radar. The thing that's coming in for me, Amy, when I'm on the Amy channel, is that it has to do with diet. Really, food is the best medicine. And this is the third time I've talked about this. I guess this is something that's a theme tonight with the stem cell energy is the gut biome test. Email me, julie@askjulieryan.com, and I'll send you a link for half off of a gut biome test. And it's a poop test that you can do at home without a prescription. But the key is it's going to tell you what your superfoods are for your body and what are the foods for you to avoid based on your gut biome, and that's where our immune system is based. So email me on that. So I've got you on my radar. You're very inflamed. Just looks like red all over your body. It's more red on your knees, and your ankles are red, all your joints, your hips. Now, see, a lot of that can be controlled with diet, believe it or not. So, and even if we eat a healthy diet, Amy, we may be eating things that we think are really healthy, but they're not healthy for us because of what our gut biome is, all the critters in our gut. So I'm putting anti-inflammatory energy on you to get that pain calmed down, and email me and let's work on that first. And then we can do the rest of everything else. But that's really the key. Let's get the immune system robust. And it's pretty easy to do, believe it or not. And food is the key. Food is the best medicine.
I know what you're saying. Could I ask if I want to notice my right nostril has been dripping? It's really weird.
Is it what? I'm sorry?
My right nostril has been like a nasal drip the last few days, and my right side of my throat, maybe it's a staph infection. Is that just the inflammation? Because I'm drippy, and I'm never drippy.
I don't think I don't get a staph infection. I can see some pus behind your right tonsil. So go get some colloidal silver and gargle with it. Don't swallow it. Mix it half colloidal silver, half water, Amy, because bacteria cannot live in a metallic environment. I've had a sore throat off and on this week myself, and I gargle with that stuff a couple of days, and, man, it just knocks it out, whatever's going on. So go get some liquid colloidal silver. You can get it at the health food store. I think they have it at Whole Foods and, grocery stores, Sprouts, stores like that. So I hope that helps. But email me and I'll shoot you that link. Okay?
Okay, great. Thank you.
All righty. Thanks for calling. Enjoy the bell. Take care.
Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. All righty. We've got Nids next. Hi, Nids.
Hi. How are you?
Well, how are you?
I'm doing good, thanks. I thought I might not even get a chance today. So
here we go. We saved the best for last. How about that?
Thank you.
Oh, everybody's the best. But tell us where you're calling from.
I'm calling from San Jose, California.
Okay. Well, terrific. Well, you got a question for me?
Yes, I actually wanted to talk about a question for somebody who's living.
Mm-hmm.
And my question was that whether this person and I have a future together.
Oh, okay. Is it a love interest?
It is.
We're talking about love? All right.
Yes, we are.
All right. Can you tell us the person's name or their initials?
His name is James.
James? Okay.
Yes.
All right. Okay, so what's your question about Sir James?
Whether we will have a relationship or commitment together.
I got absolutely before you even asked the question all the way.
Wow.
Yeah. Because you're feeling it?
I am, but I am unable to see anything moving. So.
Okay, so when we try and control stuff, Ned, we block the energy from flowing. So just know that everything's unfolding perfectly in a perfect timeline, okay? Because a lot of stuff is going on that we can't envision in our human minds. Like when you want something to happen and you envision how you're going to make it happen, and you get to the end result, but you don't get there in the way that you envisioned you would get there. It's the same kind of thing. So when we try and control a situation, we block ourselves from having magical things happen, things that we hadn't even dreamed up, because there's no way of knowing, because there's, about a bazillion variables that come into play. So when you're feeling like this just isn't moving and I'm getting frustrated and all of that, you're blocking it. So just when you feel that, just say to yourself, no, it's perfectly unfolding, and just let it go. Let it go. And if something works out with him at this moment in time, I'm getting absolutely, by just letting it flow, he may lead you to somebody that you end up with that you haven't even met yet. I mean, so it's just the possibilities are endless.
So possibility with him or just generally with somebody, you were saying?
Well, I'm saying you may end up with him. He may introduce you to somebody that you end up with because you've met him through him. I mean, he's absolutely in your path for a reason. And things that have happened, Nids, are set in stone. Things that are happening now are set in stone. Things that are happening in the future have a million variables that come into play that can affect an outcome. So that's why I say just trust that everything's unfolding perfectly. And, we try and control this kind of stuff. That's just the way we're raised. That's what we think we can make things happen. And to some extent we can, but it's so much better and easier if we just let it flow.
I mean, I just wanted to know whether he's going to remain in my life or not. Or does he even have feelings?
Is he interested in you romantically? I get a yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
And like, so is he going to remain in my life?
At this moment in time, I get a yes, but that can change. That could change next week. It's like, because like that's what I was saying. Future events are fluid.
Okay.
You know, hey, listen. I met my husband standing behind him in line in the Kansas City airport. All right. So I was in Kansas City less than 24 hours. He's a big ex-football player. I had this desire to put my arms around him and start hugging on him, and I thought, oh my God, Ryan, you haven't even seen his face yet. Go home and go to bed. You're just tired. So my point is, and then I married him and moved. That's how I got to Alabama. People say to me, how did you get to Alabama? I say, love. So my point is, you just don't know what's going to happen. You just stay open. You know, James is in your life right now. He's in your life for a purpose. Who knows what that purpose is going to be. But right now, is there a potential for a future with him? Absolutely.
Okay. I keep getting that, but I'm just like, I don't know when that's going to happen.
Okay. So stay open. Stay open.
Okay.
Trust it's all unfolding perfectly. Okay.
Okay. Thank you.
Does that help?
Thank you so much. Yes, it does. Thank you.
Thanks for calling. Take care.
Bye-bye. Take care. Bye-bye.
All right, everybody. That's our last call because we're out of time. That flew by as usual. What fun to get to talk to all of you. Next week, if you're listening, please call in with your question. I love having the opportunity to talk to you, and I think everybody enjoys hearing what your questions are. Go to my website, AskJulieRyan.com. Sign up for my blog. Check out the training. Follow me on Instagram, Ask Julie Ryan, Facebook, Ask Julie Ryan, all that kind of jazz. Have a wonderful weekend, and I'll talk to you next week. Take care, everybody. Bye now.
Thanks for joining us. Be sure to follow Julie on Twitter at AskJulieRyan and like her on Facebook at AskJulieRyan. For information on how you can ask Julie your question, please visit AskJulieRyan.com.